This was definitely the most heartbreaking interviews for most people who watched it. Welcome to Legacy Spotlight. I wanted to just analyze a bit the interview that happened between Sandra and Selma Mutukudzi with DJ Ola. How does it happen that of all the daughters, only one daughter who have the ownership of the house? Yes, it's understandable if it had been said that the house is in Daisy's name, because as the surviving spouse and the spouse that stood by Oliver Mutukudzi, it is understandable for her to have ownership of that house. But for the daughter of one of the women to just be the only one who has the ownership of the house in Norton, it is definitely questionable. So many people are wondering why Oliver Mutukudzi did what he did or how he did it. Some have been alleging that vakadyigiswa, but is it really kuti munhu akadyigiswa, or it was really just a father who was not fair amongst his children? Because some of the allegations by Sandra Mutukudzi of the abuse that she went through, the father played a major role as well in those abuse allegations. For example, Sandra claimed that at one point when she was around 16, 17 years old, the family moved away from the family home to a new home and they left Sandra alone. Vakatora zvinhu zvese akasara ari ega. Zvinoita here baba vachisiya mwanasikana wavo pamba ana gardener in that scenario? As we can look at it, and no matter how you want to look at it, it is wrong. If it is true that it happened, it is a very wrong thing for a father to do. Yes, the stepmother will be wrong too, but for a biological parent, the person who's responsible for that child, to do that, it is very wrong. Because Nemutemo Wedu, she was a minor and she had every right to be protected by her parents. And this is what happened. Then some of the things that were claimed that happened to them when they were being abused by Daisy Mugabe, it also says a lot about the man that Oliver Mutukudzi was as a father. There is no doubt for many people that he was a great musician. There is no doubt that he was an international icon. However, there are so many questions about his legacy today, because many people are wondering if the Tuku that we knew on stage and in the newspapers is the Tuku that people knew back at home. Because now we are seeing a different picture. Now we are seeing a different kind of a man, because kumira mushe. And the fact that the house is on fire right now, years after he died, is certainly showing that he did not plan his things accordingly. And to make matters worse, it's showing that his wife, Daisy Mutukudzi, is not managing things in the family well, because as the spouse, daivari kuvharidzira zvimwe zvinhu to avoid mitauro yakawanda. Let's say she was abusive. She can make amends right now and include these daughters in everything that is planned concerning their father, because they are rightfully Mutukudzi's children. So what's wrong with including them in the issues that concern their father? Nothing. And the fact that right now it is being said that Faith, her daughter from a previous relationship before she met Oliver Mutukudzi, lives in that Norton house, it's raising even more questions about how unfair Daisy Mutukudzi is. And it's also showing that she just cares about her biological children, because Samantha Mutukudzi is believed to be living in that house as well at Norton, because she has divorced her husband Tinashe Ngomasha. Tuku's legacy is definitely not withstanding the fire that's burning right now. So many things are going downhill for him. As much as he's in the grave, vamwari kuti afa anaka ngatimusiyei mufi asatariswe zvakawanda. But if we can give singers and actors awards after they've died, posthumous awards, that means that if someone zvaunenge wakaita mabasa ako anokuteera uri mupenyu even wafa, right now many years later people are still talking about the likes of Mother Teresa, the likes of Princess Diana, the likes of Bob Marley, because even after death we still talk about it. We have our very own, the infamous thieves Chidumo and Masendeke. They died many years ago, but up until this day, we still talk about them as thieves that broke out of prison, because whatever they did when they were alive, it's still following them because it is history, it is part of what they did. So whatever Oliver Mutukudzi did when he was alive, it's still going to carry on for years and years to come. So as I was analyzing the whole situation of the interview, how heartbreaking it was and all that was happening, I realized that there are so many people that we can blame in this scenario. For example, we can blame Daisy Mutukudzi for being a cruel stepmother. Or we can question where Selma and Sandra's mother was. Where was Melody when her children were being abused? Some were saying she was working somewhere and her children, they never blamed their mother for anything. However, as a mother, you know that if something is wrong with your children, you should do something about it and take care of them and remove them from a situation that is harmful, even if the situation involves their biological father. Sandra claimed that they never told their mother of the abuse, which can be considered as a problem for them. She caused the problem. She was supposed to tell her mother to protect her from the harmful situation that she was in. However, as a minor, it is possible for one to choose to not tell your parents the other thing so that you protect the situation, because maybe she knew that even if she tells the mother, she may not do much. Or if she tells the mother and then she confronts her dad, it may cause things to create friction between everyone involved in the situation. And the grandparents as well. We can wonder where the grandparents were. Yes, it is not an obligation for a grandparent to take care of the children if the parents are alive or whatever. However, the grandparents should partake in protecting children. As we always say, that it takes a village to raise a child. So where were the grandparents? Where were the other relatives? They were obviously quiet, or some of them they never knew. And after Oliver Mutukudzi died, the fact that Selma and Sandra Mutukudzi, the only things they got were a pair of tracksuit bottom and a hat that Sandra was wearing in that interview. It says a lot about the people in the Mutukudzi family. And as the girls mentioned that, yes, there was influence on how the relatives treated them or how they took the whole thing of them kuti pakugoya kwezvinhu mwana anongopuwa heti yababa netrauzi rababa. It is really shameful how the Mutukudzi family has treated these girls. Vanhu vanofanira kubatanidza vana ava naamai vavo. By amai, I'm referring to Daisy Mutukudzi, because by right, she is the mother. She was the spouse. Then the other thing that people are having a problem with as well is the fact that right now, these girls have tried to reach out so many times to the woman that was abusing them, but still they get shut down by their stepmother. It is heartbreaking. It is sad. And some will defend Daisy, saying she did not need to be there for these children. But no, she had to be there. Daisy came into the picture while knowing that Oliver Mutukudzi was married. She came into the picture and tried to take someone's husband. And the fact that when we look at the order of how these children were born, we realized that there was Sandra who was born to Melody, and then Oliver Mutukudzi went on to have Samantha with Daisy Mutukudzi. And then he went back again to Melody and then had Selma before going back to Daisy and then having the late Sam Mutukudzi. That is showing that there was a lot of back and forth between these two women. And Barika is what Melody said in one interview, where she emphasized that he and he akaramba Oliver Mutukudzi nekuti aisada Barika. In honest truth, if we look at this, we can safely say Daisy was a homemaker. She wrecked this home. This was a family man. Everyone knew Oliver Mutukudzi was married because he had such a huge wedding, Parufaro Gwanzura Stadium, many years ago. So everyone knew he was married. But she went on and took someone's husband there. Then after taking the husband, she goes on and then starts abusing his children like that, which is very wrong. I believe Daisy Mutukudzi should change her behavior. And it seems like the way she is still acting right now and how she was back then, she has not really repented, because in her interviews right now, she says spiteful things, she says hurtful things, which is not very professional or very good. As I mentioned in one other video, that she can take notes from Rita Mali and just unite all the children. Because when we look at all these people that we can say we are blaming for this whole situation, the main culprit, as much as I hate to say it, is Oliver Mutukudzi. He is the one who was wrong in all this. Because from that interview with the girls, we realized that Oliver Mutukudzi had 6 children with 4 different women, which is a big red flag. It says a lot about who he was as a man, about who he was as a partner, about how irresponsible he was. Because in all these situations, it means these women, 4 families, 4 women here, they would wait for that man to come in and help them financially with those children. It was his responsibility. Yes, we don't have the story from the other children. Unfortunately, Sam Mutukudzi is late, and the 2 other girls, they don't want to be involved in the spotlight of everything that's happening. But just from the information that we have, you can clearly see that they grew up without their father present. And another thing is, years later, right now, after he has passed away, there's a man who's claiming, he came out a few months ago, claiming that he is Oliver Mutukudzi's son. At first, people were laughing, but then now when you're hearing these stories, you begin to wonder how many children are out there and how many children claim to be Oliver Mutukudzi's children, because we now don't really know. Because by right, we now know that he had 4 women that he had children with, which makes him a very irresponsible person, a very naughty man, which is something that people should learn from. And we should take from that behavior that everything is permissible, but yes, everything is not beneficial. He has to own up, but unfortunately, he cannot own up because he is now late. And now the damage is done, and the kids are the ones that are suffering. Daisy Mutukudzi should try to mend this thing here. She should definitely try to fix things. I do not know how it can really be fixed, but I believe that the main person who can really fix this thing, if they really want, is Daisy Mutukudzi. Because Selma and Sandra have emphasized that they want to have a good relationship, especially with Samantha, their sister, because she is their blood. And they seem to have a relationship with the other 2 girls that belong to their father as well, even if they are from a different mother from theirs, but they are willing to do that. So what do you guys think? Do you think Oliver Mutukudzi is to blame for everything that is happening, the downfall of his legacy? Or do you think we should blame Daisy, or we should blame the children, Selma and Sandra, and say they should keep quiet and not say anything? It is indeed quite sad that after all these years of idolizing Oliver Mutukudzi, many people are disappointed at how everything is turning out and all these dark secrets coming out. Please share your thoughts on what you think about this. Who is to blame for the downfall of Oliver Mutukudzi's legacy? Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.